Okay guys, welcome back. Finally I get to do a bunch of these videos, and I have a bunch to do. Okay, as you can see, City of Mercy, the poster there, the movie poster. But retro video game pickups, I mean, I got a million of them, so we're going to get right on into it. This is everything I've collected for pretty much the Game Boy. There's one PS2 game in here, there's one PS1 game in here, I think, and a few like odds and ends. But majority of these are for the Game Boy Color, and the Game Boy Advance. Alright, but the first thing I want to show you guys, this is really cool. This is probably the first video game I think I ever had as a kid. It was from Radio Shack. It's sort of like those old Nintendo Game & Watches. I was able to find, I already have a bigger copy of it, a tabletop version of this, but I actually found this. It's called Space Alien from Radio Shack. This is what it looked like, okay? As you can see, you have the date button, the mode button, A1 or A2, and left and right buttons. That's it. And on the back, let's see if there's a copyright on here. There is not. But I want to say this came out in the mid-'80s, easily. So, or early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. So, Space Alien, this is really cool nostalgic pickup for me. The next, I didn't even know they came out with this. I got this sealed. And I think I picked this up at Videogames New York, I want to say, actually. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. This came with... Oh, no. I'm an idiot. I think I picked up a duplicate at Videogames New York. Oh, I hope I didn't. I hope I screwed up somehow. But this is Web Browser 2.0 for the Dreamcast with SegaNet. Includes the full version of Sega Swirl game. That's why I picked it up. It's sealed. I'm probably never going to open it, considering SegaNet doesn't exist anymore. But your gateway to Sega.com and the internet, Web Browser 2.0, optimized for SegaNet. Get exclusive access to VMU files, movies, and more. Explore the World Wide Web, send and receive email, and chat with people around the world. It's with AT&T and all that. So this was sealed. This is a sealed copy of Web Browser 2.0. Now let's get into the Game Boy games. These are going to be mixed and matched. I have a bunch in different orders and things of that nature, so we'll start with this. This is for the Game Boy Advance, Super Mario Advance 2. And you can link it up, 1 game pack and 4 players. See the back panel for details, with classic Mario Brothers Arcade included. So here's how this works. One of Mario's greatest adventures is in your hands. Okay, Bowser and his crew of cruel Koopalings have taken over Dinosaur Island. But luckily, Mario and Luigi are up for some Koopa kicking. As they ride Yoshi, search for P-switches, find secret paths, blast fireballs, and soar skyward with the cape, they'll need to use every trick in the Plumber Handbook. Dino Rhinos, Chargin' Chucks, and a host of unforgettable enemies await one of the Mario Brothers' biggest and most challenging adventures ever. All 96 levels in the palm of your hand. Ride Yoshi from the spooky Forest of Illusion to the super tough Star Road. Everything from the Super NES Classic is here, powered up with all new features for the Game Boy Advance. Luigi's ready, so pick a bro and go. Now you can play as Mario or his brother Luigi, who can jump and fly higher than his famous sibling. Which bro is the best for each stage? Get linked. Using a single game pack, link up to 4 players and play the timeless Mario Brothers arcade game. You can even connect with Super Mario Advance game packs for multi-pack madness. So, Super Mario World 2, Super Mario Brothers Advance 2. Pick that up. Next is probably one of the worst sports games, if not hockey games, for the Game Boy, original Game Boy. Pretty much in mint condition. Now, a lot of these Game Boy games I never had. One of them I had as a kid, the rest I didn't. But what I've been doing now, collecting-wise, is I've actually gone on eBay and seen, you know, less than $20. If I can find a complete in-box game, I'm just grabbing it just to have. So obviously this isn't to own, but this is NHL 96. Now, it's funny because I've seen gameplay online of this on YouTube, and from the graphics, it actually doesn't look that horrible, as you can see, okay? And then you can use it on the Super Game Boy and things of that nature, but it really is that bad. The start menu, you're expecting good things, and then it just turns into a pile of crap. But NHL 96, strap on your skates. Grab your stick and hit the ice. Choose from all your favorite NHL teams and get ready to face off against the NHL's best. Use your skill and knowledge to overpower and outthink your opponents and get the puck past their goalie. Then head into the playoffs to take your rightful place among the NHL's elite for your chance at the game's ultimate prize. NHL 96 features: choose your favorite NHL teams, practice in regular season, or play for the Cup in playoff mode. Use wrists and slap shots to outscore your opponent. The in-game graphics say gameplay on the Game Boy compact video game system and gameplay on the Super NES using the Super Game Boy adapter, both sold separately. So NHL 96, one of the worst games ever for the Game Boy. I stole this. This is in pretty mint condition, and it's Aladdin for the Game Boy. And it's actually not a bad port from THQ. And here's how it works. Hang on to your magic carpet for action and fun. Aladdin must slash his mighty scimitar to fight and dash to the city of Agrabah. Escape the Sultan's dungeon, survive the fiery Cave of Wonders, snatch the genie's lamp, and save Princess Jasmine from the evil Jafar in the most magical desert adventure of all time. It features 9 levels of magical adventure filled with desert warriors, spitting camels, and flying carpets, hilarious fun with pants-dropping palace guards and dirtwad spitting camels. One exciting bonus round that takes you deep into the genie's magical lamp. Academy Award-winning music straight from the movie with favorites like A Whole New World and Friend Like Me. Super Game Boy compatibility means Aladdin's entire adventure from the market of Agrabah to the interior of Jafar's evil palace is gorgeously color-enhanced. So here you go. Compact play on the Game Boy compact video game system. Again, doesn't look that horrible. And then here, gameplay on the Super NES using the Super Game Boy adapter, both sold separately. So... And towards when Super Game Boy came out, this started Super Game Boy Game Pack. It let you know that it was compatible with Super Game Boy. Some of these didn't have that, but some of them had what are called Game Boy Game Pack, and I'll show you one right now. This is actually a game I had when I was a kid. Completely forgot I had it, and then didn't know which wrestling game I actually did have, but it is this one, and it's WWF Raw. Wrestling Rudest and Roughest. Now here, this is a normal game, official Game Boy Game Pack, okay? So it's either that, Game Link if it was a 2-player game, or multiple player game, and then towards the end, they had the Super Game Boys up here. So WWF Raw, Wrestling's Rudest and Roughest. Here we go. WWF Raw slams your senses with the most ruthless mat mayhem ever. The hottest WWF superstars, each with their own signature move, wild tag team action, and grueling Survivor Series bouts, stand between you and the championship belt. This is WWF Raw, and Raw is war. So you got Diesel, Bret Hart, Lex Luger, Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, The Undertaker, Yokozuna, and Doink. And the in-game graphics say all new special moves like the Slingshot Suplex, super high-flying tag team action, anything goes outside the ring, and go toe-to-toe with the hottest WWF wrestlers. So, there's WWF Raw. Next, I just got a duplicate of this. I picked it up for a decent price, 30-something bucks. It's incredible considering it's very, very rare to find complete in box, so I got a pretty damn good deal. Pinball Fantasies. Check out my other Game Boy pickup game or retro video game pickup games for me to go over this. Actually, either I went over this in one of those or I went into it in my Game Boy collection video, which I will probably be doing another video very soon. Next is simple. Pick this up for a cheap price, Tetris 2. Take on a tougher Tetris challenge. One of the worst Tetris games ever. A lot of people hated this game. They said, why would you mess with Tetris? Which is true. I mean, Tetris was literally, I think mathematically they proved it was 100% perfect. I don't know how they did it. I forget what article I read it in where they said something like that, but literally it was a perfect game. You could not do better than Tetris. But they tried, and this is Tetris 2. Be a puzzle prodigy. The mesmerizing fun of Tetris returns, and the challenge escalates to new heights. Test your dexterity, tease your brain, and rack up points with Tetris 2. Your split-second decisions lead you to a new dimension and puzzle-solving action. It's for 1 or 2 players. Line up 3 blocks of the same shade and whoosh, they explode. Special puzzle game with 30 levels of brain-teasing fun. A tougher Tetris with more shapes, more levels, more special moves, and more ways to win big. If you love the international game sensation Tetris, you'll be wild for the newest dimension in puzzle fun, Tetris 2. This game pack for use with the Game Boy compact video game system. So there you go, there's Tetris 2 for you. Okay, next game is for the Game Boy Advance. It's Donkey Kong Country. Okay. Go bananas on Game Boy Advance. The timeless Super NES classic that introduced the Kong clan to the world is now in the palm of your hand, complete with all new bonuses. Take wild rides along treacherous minecart tracks, gallop through thick jungles on Animal Friends, or take the express barrel cannon route across gaping chasms. Just don't leave any bananas behind. King K. Rool and his evil Kremlings would be all too happy to keep them. Swing It to Action. Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong's Epic Banana Hunt is a legendary platform challenge for Kong veterans and thrill-seeking newcomers alike. Back to the Jungle. Classic gameplay, a funky soundtrack, and award-winning graphics have been faithfully recreated for the on-the-fly fun. All New Antics. Bonus features include the time-based DK attack mode and multiplayer games starring Candy and Funky Kong. So there you go, some of the graphics of that. There you are, Donkey Kong Country. Next, I picked this up, is it sealed? It may not be sealed. I forget, but it was like $3. World Championship Poker from Crave Entertainment. I have this on the PS2. World Championship Poker puts the best of Las Vegas, Atlantic City, and the Big Easy right into the palm of your hand. Work your way down Casino Lane in your quest to bluff your way to the riches. Enjoy realistic poker action against a wide variety of tough opponents, each with their own set of unique, quote, tells to challenge you. Down in your luck, try playing video poker, blackjack, or slot machines to rebuild your stake to buy another seat into the World Championship Poker Tournament. World Championship Poker features 4 different poker games: Texas Hold'em, Omaha Hold'em, a 7-card stud, and 5-card draw. Bonus casino games, blackjack, video poker, and slots. Quick play mode lets you jump into a fast game. Career mode takes you from wannabe to WCP as you play your way through the 4 themed casinos and 16 poker tournaments. Easy to follow tutorials to help you learn the rules of each game. Play head-to-head up with up to 3 other players via Game Boy Advance Game Link cable. So, pretty simple game there. This is sealed. I got this for like $3. Texas Hold'em Poker for the Game Boy Advance from Majesco. You can see the packaging. I don't know if you can see it, but grab a seat at the table and wager it all. Play in countrywide tournaments and ultimately compete in Vegas for the Texas Hold'em Poker Championship. The in-game graphics say compete in quick game or tournament modes. Full Texas Hold'em gameplay including 5-10 limit, 25-50 limit, pot limit, and no limit play. Save your bankroll for future games with the password feature. So, Texas Hold'em Poker, $3, brand new. Next is for the Game Boy Advance. This is also brand new. It's NFL Blitz 2002. Real teams, real players, real attitude. NFL Blitz 2002 combines stunning next-generation graphics and animations with a mixture of authentic NFL football, no-rules gameplay, and no-mercy attitude. The result is pure adrenaline-style, no refs, no rules, no mercy football mayhem. Next-generation graphics. The Game Boy Advance allows Blitz to shine like never before, unless you played on a home console. Season memory code system. Stop your season midway through, get a code, and begin again later where you left off. And there's mini games. Dominate the gridiron by honing your skills in the 4th and goal and uprights mini games. Get ready to get blitzed midway style. Charles Woodson said that, and he played from the Oakland Raiders, all-pro defensive back. This is back then. Don't forget, this is 2002, so this probably came out in 2001. So anyway, this is brand new. Next is a PS2 game. I didn't know they made this, and if I did know they made it, I completely forgot that they made it, but it's the Sopranos Road to Respect Limited Edition. It includes a bonus disc. So, on the back here, obviously I don't have the booklet, I don't have the poster, but I do have the making of bonus content. It says Earn Your Cut. And enter the dangerous world of The Sopranos through a new storyline voiced by the show's key cast members. There's no method of intimidation that's too brutal on your path to get made. A punishing combat system and an array of environmental weapons. And that's pretty much the drill. Sopranos Road to Respect. So I picked that up. Okay. Next we have, for the original Game Boy, Dr. Mario. Picked this up for pretty cheap. Dr. Mario is coming and he's got the cure. So, Dr. Mario, the prescription is fun. It's Dr. Mario for an intense new challenge. Mario throws multi-shaded vitamin capsules into a bottle that contains an ugly variety of nasty viruses. You can move, shift, or spin the capsules as they fall. Arrange them to align with other capsules on top of a virus. If you can get 4 more of the same shade in a row, poof, they disappear. Destroy all the viruses in the bottle and you progress to the next round where things get even more difficult. Dr. Mario, with germs that are fun to catch. And you can play alone or use your video link cable for simultaneous 2-player action. This game pack is for use with the Game Boy Compact video game system. So, Dr. Mario. It says a Game Boy Video Link game pack. You can see there's 2 people. Next, we have Pipe Dream. Another puzzler for the Game Boy from Bulletproof Software. Here's how Pipe Dream works. Based on the award-winning original by Lucasfilm Games. Okay, what are you supposed to do with 7 simple pieces of pipe and 8 weird ones? All you have to do is build them into a pipeline that's no more complicated than the average oil refinery. But that's the easy part. Seconds after you put the first pipe in place, this sticky, slimy stuff called flues starts flowing through it. From that point on, it's you against the flues. But you've got 4 powerful weapons: your right hand, your left hand, your right brain, and your left brain. So what are your chances of outsmarting the flues? Nobody knows for sure. But at last count, there are 14,567,984,176 ways to dream up a better pipeline. So the in-game graphics say you can make brilliant strategic decisions at lightning speed or make a big mess all over the floor. Here it says it takes about 5 seconds to get the idea. It can take a lifetime to get good at it. Really good. And this game pack for use with the Game Pack Compact Video Game System. So, pipe dream. Next we have Penguin Wars. Now I want to give a shout out to Jeremy Parrish. Check out his channel. He's actually doing something called Game Boy World, Game Boy History, something along those lines. I think it's Game Boy World. And he published a book, Game Boy World 1989, which shows you in-game graphics, color photos of the first games ever in 1989 to be released for the system. And every week he pops up a new video in chronological order of when the games were released and shows gameplay of the game and a little background information on the game, etc. But here is one that I never really got into. I really didn't know about it. I remember it existed. It's called Penguin Wars. It's from Nexoft Corporation, and I saw gameplay of it. It's really, really, really cool. Looks really fun. So it says English and French instructions included in the manual. Okay. Are you ready to indulge in some animal antics to compete with some fun-loving characters? Then Penguin Wars is the game for you. The action never stops as you try to roll 10 balls across a playing court while your wacky opponent attempts to do the same. Pitch them, dodge them. You won't have a second to rest once this game gets rolling. Pick your player from a pugnacious penguin, a comical cow, a bug-eyed bat, a rambunctious rat, and a romping rabbit. Play against a computer or with up to 5 of your friends in a tournament, or with 2 Game Boys, 2 Penguin Wars game packs, and a Game Boy Video Link cable. You can play with up to 10 of your friends in the most outrageous and fun-filled tournament game ever. In-game graphics. Roll them fast for a perfect game. Win a game and jump for joy. It's panic time if they knock you down. Lose a game and cry your eyes out. So what Penguin Wars is pretty much dodgeball, sort of. Your job is you have a bunch of balls. Your job is to throw the balls on the other side and have no balls left on your side. If you get hit, you get knocked down for a few seconds, which obviously makes you not be able to throw your balls over there because you're out of commission. So it's a pretty interesting game, and it looked really fun, so I grabbed it. Next game is Heianko Alien. Heianko Alien from Meldak. It's a Japanese game that was translated into English. So there's 2 versions of it. Old version. The original version of Heianko Alien keeps its old depth and popular appeal. Enjoy a classic game. And the new version, based on the concept of the original, but this new Heianko Alien has the ultimate layout, plus a mode to enable opponents to play against each other. Outstanding fun. This game pack for use with the Game Boy Compact Video Game System. So what is Heianko Alien? So what it is you're in Japan, aliens are taking over, and it's your job to dig holes, from what I can remember, and trap them. That's basically Heianko Alien. Sounds boring as all fuck, but apparently back then it was fun. I don't know. Here's the only game I have for the PS1 in this little video. It's Sammy Sosa Softball Slam. Now I have this for the computer, but I have it now for the PS1. Sammy Sosa Softball Slam brings the ultra-popular game of softball to the PlayStation game console for the first time for an entirely new game experience. Step up to the plate for fast-paced gameplay as you knock out doubles and triples. All this over-the-top action comes screaming at you through a non-stop barrage of dynamic camera cuts combined with sizzling special effects, side-splitting animation, and a bombastic announcer guaranteed to keep you on your toes and wanting more. It features single gameplay for 1 to 2 players simultaneously, tournament play for up to 8, 24 male, female, and co-ed teams featuring customized players, teams, and leagues, 3 difficulty settings plus automated family mode for all ages and skill levels. And the in-game graphics show a selection of 6 playing fields and superior control over hits, pitching, and fielding. And it says Sammy Sosa's rated a 10 for power and something else, like agility, I believe. I can't even read it, but there you go. Sammy Sosa Softball Slam from 3DO. Pick that up. Next, this is sealed. It's for the Game Boy Color. As you can see, the original price, it was originally $24.99. It sold for $16.99. This is a Record Town FYE sticker. And I think I bought it for 14 bucks, so Not a bad deal, sealed. San Francisco Rush 2049. Rush, the arcade hit, races home. Pour on the speed through the futuristic streets of San Francisco and catch some serious air on strategically placed jumps. San Francisco Rush 2049 is an amazing adrenaline rush to the finish line. It's the future of racing. So 9 tracks, awesome jumps, 5 pre-rendered cars, treacherous shortcuts, precise car handling, and power-up options. There you go. San Francisco Rush 2049. Next game is also sealed. It is for the Game Boy Color. It is NFL Blitz. So on the back here, no refs, no rules, no mercy. The #1 arcade hit comes home. Leave reality behind. You won't play this kind of football anywhere else. Cordell Stewart says, with bone-crunching tackles and spectacular catches, there is no other football game like NFL Blitz. I love this game. NFL Blitz is the NFL at its finest, featuring easy-to-run plays and unparalleled action, all in breakneck speed. With no penalties, no substitutions, and nowhere to hide, NFL Blitz is more than a game. It's an NFL highlight film. NFL Blitz Game Boy Color has all the bone-crunching, fast-paced, hard-hitting football fun you expect from the arcade hit, only smaller. Every one of the 30 NFL teams are included in the 7-on-7 pigskin extravaganza. Feel free to mash the competition using each of the 18 offensive plays and 9 defensive plays. The offense has an arsenal of moves from which to choose, from hurdles to spins, but no rules means no rules, and the defense takes full advantage of this freedom to do whatever it takes to stop the opponent. And here it says gameplay on the Game Boy Color video game system. It displays up to 56 colors. Some of the other graphics right there. This is NFL Blitz for the Game Boy Color. Next game is for the Game Boy Color. It is the Prince of Persia for the Game Boy Color from Red Orb Software, Red Orb Entertainment. Or subsidiary of Minscape Entertainment, or Mindscape, however you pronounce their company. Grab your sword and experience the addictive gameplay that set the standard for intense action and adventure. Explore exotic labyrinths and challenging mazes, avoid devious lethal traps, and battle ever more skillful swordsmen as you attempt to rescue the princess before time runs out. All hope rests on you, but be careful where you step, those spikes can be nasty. Non-stop action combined with addictive puzzle-solving challenges, incredibly lifelike sword fighting, lethal death traps, and maddening mazes, fluid animation based on breakthrough rotoscoping technology, movie-like storyline with intrigue, romance, and surprising twists. Bonus, the new training level and enemies designed exclusively for the Game Boy Color system. Canal Plus and Generation 4 says Game of the Decade. Here, gameplay on the Game Boy and Game Boy Pocket systems. Here, gameplay on the Game Boy Color video game system displays up to 56 colors. Prince of Persia for the Game Boy Color. Next up, this is sealed. It's for the Game Boy Color. It's NBA Showtime NBA on NBC. Exhibition, season, playoffs, and practice modes, all 29 NBA teams and over 100 real NBA players, over 30 dunk animations, player turbo for fast action and sweet moves, on fire mode, and home court logos. It's the NBA at its best right here on NBC, from the team that brought you NFL Blitz. And here, gameplay on the Game Boy Color video game system. So there you go, pretty easy. NBA Showtime, NBA on NBC, Game Boy Color. Next up, this is also sealed, but the box is kind of crushed for the Game Boy Color. Madden 2002 with Dante Culpepper on the cover. #1 for a reason. It features tournament-tested gameplay, fast action football specifically designed for the Game Boy Color. Play the field. All 31 NFL teams are represented with current rosters. Dig deep in the playbook. Call the shots from over 150 authentic offensive and defensive plays. Enhanced link play. Link up with another Game Boy Color system and play head-to-head. Authentic game modes. Play exhibition games or go deep in season and playoff modes. And here it says Game Boy and the Game Boy Color video game system. Here the in-game graphics. Beat the coverage deep, control the ground game, dominate the trenches, and play away from glory. So there you go, 1st and 10. It says ball in the 39 with 9:52 left. I don't know why that'd be a play away from glory, but whatever. So Madden 2002 Game Boy Color. Next up for the Game Boy Color, also sealed, NBA 3-on-3 featuring Kobe Bryant. The NBA and Kobe Bryant team up to bring you all the intensity of full-court NBA action with the fast-paced, high-flying play of 3-on-3 basketball. A variety of play modes and options let you set your own rules for pickup games, season play, or thrilling playoff action. With special cinematic replays of layups, alley-oops, reverse jams, and more, NBA 3-on-3 gets you out of the stands and onto the court. Smooth controls blend realistic offensive and defensive play calling with exhilarating arcade action. Create and trade up to 6 custom players, setting their ratings in 12 different skill categories. Drive to the hoop on a friend in two-player mode using the Game Link cable, which is sold separately, and officially licensed by the NBA with updated 1999-2000 team rosters and complete 1998-1999 season statistics. Here it shows you gameplay on the Game Boy Color video game system, displays up to 56 colors. Here, gameplay on the Game Boy and Game Boy Pocket systems. And this, again, sealed NBA 3-on-3 featuring Kobe Bryant. Let me just quickly run, shut off the stupid alarm, because Winnie's going nuts, and we'll get right back into it. Alright. Next game on the list here, we have, for the original Game Boy, and this is sealed, Arcade Classics #1, Asteroids and Missile Command. Now, Asteroid says the ultimate celestial obstacle course, and Missile Command, test your aim as you blast menacing warheads. 2 arcade classics in 1 game pack. Asteroids. Navigate a speeding spacecraft through tumbling debris. Blast a gleaming rocket through descending rocks and crushing rubble. Asteroids is the ultimate celestial obstacle course for unnerving space travel. And then you have Missile Command. Annihilate menacing warheads and save civilization. Defend famous cities from nuclear warheads raining down from the sky. Missile Command is a supreme fast of pinpoint precision, accurate aim, and rapid response. Supreme test of pinpoint precision, accurate aim, and rapid response. 2 classic arcade super hits on 1 Game Boy cartridge. Programmed to take full advantage of Super Game Boy features. Incredible entertainment for space fans of all ages. Here you see Asteroids. Here you see Missile Command. Gameplay on the Super NES using the Super Game Boy adapter. Game Boy and Super Game Boy adapter sold separately. So that was Arcade Classics #1, Asteroids Missile Command. Next is a sealed copy of High Stakes Gambling from Electro Brain. Interesting game, and I'll read you the back. I picked this up for like $12 sealed. I mean, you can't go wrong. This is an actual interesting game. Here's how it works. It says, Undercover Agent Pete Rossetti, we need your special talents for a dangerous mission. To beat the 5 most notorious mobsters of all time at their own game, High Stakes Gambling. We will train you in the practice mode with blackjack, slots, video poker, and craps. But it's up to you to descend into the gambling houses in the 1920s and 30s of such mobsters as Machine Gun Max and Al Colon. Use Shady the back alley bandit to obtain cheat items to help you as you attempt to outplay the crime leaders at blackjack, slots, and video poker, ending in a final showdown of draw poker. This game pack for use with the Game Boy Compact video game system. There you see the in-game graphics. So pretty much what you're doing is you're defeating the bosses in poker, but it's more so to put them in jail, I guess. I mean, it's a cool concept. I just don't understand the whole deal. Here's another game I saw on Game Boy World, Jeremy Parish's channel. Jeremy Parish, Parish. Look him up. This is sealed, or is this sealed? Yeah, it's a sealed copy of Quarth from Ultra Games. This is a cool puzzle game. Here's how it works. This turbocharged puzzle challenge of your life. Warning, Quarth is a blockbuster puzzle challenge guaranteed to knock your socks and your block off at a maddening, mind-numbing pace. With a mortifying rain of bionic block patterns descending upon you, you race back and forth in your powerful blockbuster ship, obliterating the blocks before they blow you to kingdom come. Your incentive to stay alive is the points you rake in for every block you wipe out. And if you chalk up enough points to qualify, you'll charge into bonus games where it's you against the clock and the unstoppable blocks of Quarth. So, Ace, if you think you've got the steady hands of a brain surgeon, the sharp eye of an eagle, and the steely nerves of a Hollywood stuntman, power up Quarth and see if you can outlast a blockbusting action. Play against a computer or attach the video link and play against a friend. So basically in this game, it's your job, you see these little shapes, Tetris-type shapes? Well, you have to fill them in. And you're shooting blocks to fill these shapes in. And you destroy the blocks by filling them in and closing them up. From the video footage I saw, it looked like a really cool game. This is not sealed, but it's pretty much mint condition. It's for the original Game Boy. Ken Griffey Jr. presents Major League Baseball Game Boy Edition. Still has a new release sticker on it. Towards the end of the Game Boy's lifespan, Nintendo put this on their games, new release stickers. So here you go. Join Ken Griffey Jr. and all of your favorite Major League players. Improved with a host of new features, Ken Griffey Jr. presents Major League Baseball Game Boy Edition is ready for a new season of baseball excitement. Choose any of the 28 Major League teams and try to win the World Series or play head-to-head against a friend using the Game Boy Game Link cable for the ultimate in baseball competition. Make diving catches, strike out all-stars, or rob a game-winning home run anywhere you want with Ken Griffey Jr. Presents Major League Baseball Game Boy Edition. Play with all 28 Major League Baseball teams, features 700 Major League Baseball stars, play and save a 26-78 or 162-game season, improved hitting system to allow realistic control, make managerial decisions and player trades, and two-player action with the Game Boy Game Link cable here, Game Boy gameplay on the Game Boy Compact Video Game System, and then gameplay on the Super NES using the Super Game Boy adapter, both sold separately. Really no difference if you can see. I mean, the guy's blue. That's about it. So Ken Griffey Jr. Presents Major League Baseball Game Boy Edition. Pick this up, and the last two games are for the original Game Boy. We have Game Boy Arcade Classics number 4, Defender and Joust. 2 arcade classics in 1 game pack. Defender, space shooting action in a high-speed ship. Advance from planet to planet in a deadly attempt to eliminate the enemy threat. Utilize an outrageous arsenal of weapons and save the human race. And in Joust, a feather-ruffling romp on a futuristic bird. Get ready to climb on a futuristic flying ostrich for a frenzied wing-flapping fun. Ram rival jousters in an all-out effort to knock them off their mounts. 2 classic get-them-before-they-get-you arcade games. Double game pack for twice the challenge. Programmed to take full advantage of Super Game Boy features. Incredible entertainment for arcade fans of all ages. Here's Defender. Here's Joust, and it says gameplay on the Game Boy Compact Video Game System or on the Super NES using the Super Game Boy adapter, both sold separately. So this was Game Boy Arcade Classics number 4, Defender Joust. And the last game is Game Boy Arcade Classics number 2, Centipede and Millipede, 2 arcade classics in 1 game pack. Here we go. With Centipede, the forest is crawling with critter chaos. The forest is swarming with tormenting fleas, lethal scorpions, and the dreaded centipedes. Exterminate this instinct battalion or they'll eat you for lunch. And Millipede, the garden is infested with insect insanity. A poisonous mushroom garden has been invaded by an army of creepy crawlers. Zap menacing millipedes, jumping spiders, and nasty earwigs before they multiply into an insect epidemic. 2 classic insect zapping games on 1 Game Boy cartridge. The farther these bug-infested games advance, the faster the mania becomes. Select a starting score and earn bonus lives and 10 levels of challenge. Programmed to take full advantage of Super Game Boy features. So here's Centipede on the Game Boy. And Millipede Game Boy. Gameplay on the Game Boy Compact Video Game System or on the Super NES using the Super Game Boy adapter, both sold separately. So those are all the games that I picked up here in this video. This is the stuff from eBay, but I have a ton more stuff to show you guys. I got stuff I picked up from J Street, which you'll see in the next video. After that, I have stuff that I picked up in Videogames New York and Manhattan. And I also have stuff that I picked up, a lot of cool super finds, games that I picked up at the Retro Video Game Expo in Long Island. So guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, share the videos. You know the drill. This has been another Retro Video Game Pickup video. Stay tuned for the next one. We'll see you next time.